All right, so we measured it out. We have the hood piece laid out. We're gonna start laying right now. Getting a little nervous. I wasn't nervous this morning. I wasn't nervous maybe like 10 minutes ago. Starting to kick in, but I think we got it all right. You can kind of see the color a little more. It's a lot more pink with the white, and then there's like a green, and then there's like a blue type tint there. Definitely a lot different than I remember, but I think it'll still be pretty sick. So let's go ahead, time lapse this, and you guys will see how it looks like. All right, y'all, so just a quick update. We're still on the hood. It took us about a few hours to get what we had done. We ran into a mishap, kind of tore a hole into the first vinyl that we had on the hood, but let me show you guys how the progress looks like. We pretty much got the top portion of the hood finished. We still have to get like the bottom half of the hood done, but for the most part, everything is kind of smoothed out, and we kind of have, you know, the front hood just left. At least for today, you know, we just gotta stretch it, cut it, make sure everything is good. There are a few wrinkles, but we'll try to see if we can get them out as much as possible. I'm not saying this is much harder than I anticipated. I knew it was gonna be hard from the get-go, but this is a lot more detail-oriented than I originally anticipated. If you are a rapper, talking about the dude who makes beats, says lyrics over beats, but if you rap cars, you rap anything, kudos to you. I knew you guys are a master of your craft, so shout out to you. I'll update you guys in a few hours when we have a better update. I just want to interrupt today's video to say thank you to our sponsor, Cheese. Cheese is a zero-fee debit MasterCard that rewards you when you seek new adventures by trying or tasting new experiences on the daily. Whether you're choosing between boba or a latte, ramen or pasta, you deserve a little extra cheese for living outside the box. When using your Cheese card, you can get up to 5% cash back when using it at any user-selected Asian restaurants. So treat yourself while also helping out the community when using your Cheese card. Another cool thing is you can even get up to 10% cash back when using your Cheese card when buying flights with Flyaway. And additional to that, you can get up to 10% cash back when using it at up to 10,000 brands and stores, from 5% at Adidas up to 10% at Walmart, and even $20 off your Costco membership when using your Cheese card, which I think is pretty sick. And you don't have to deal with any of those pesky banking fees that you do with your normal bank. And Cheese even comes with a built-in feature that you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier than what you're normally used to getting it. Here's my Cheese card right here, and you can see there's a little smiley face right there on the bottom. As you guys already know, I'm already a huge fan of iced coffee and boba, so you guys already know I'm gonna be using my Cheese cards the next time I'm out. Gonna get some boba or iced coffee. Use the links down below and use my code Chris17 to get a $10 sign-up bonus, as well as a $5 bonus when you fund your account. Thank you, Cheese, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. All right, y'all, so it's officially day 2 of working on the wrap on the Lexus. And unfortunately, day 1 seemed like a real sucker punch. That one really hit us in the jaw. I don't think this is anyone's fault, but I do think it's 1, our lack of experience, 2, you know, just not us doing it enough. So day 2, we took it a little slower and we worked on a lot more smaller pieces, and we ended up getting at least 1 piece done today, which I feel like is a big win in my book. So we got here the rooftop spoiler. This is the one that goes on top of the roof. So this is how it looks like. I'm actually very happy with it. There is a sharp edge right here that I was a little worried about, but I think we handled it pretty good. Edges are very smooth, as well as over here. I was a little worried on how it would look like. The back does look pretty good as well. As for the bottom though, I gotta clean it up. So although it is a very small part, I do think this is a big win in my book, just because we were able to get 1 piece wrapped on our own. We didn't have anyone's help. This is all our doing, and I'm pretty proud of this. So tomorrow, I think we're gonna handle the front fender. We're gonna go from here. It might be a wrap. Yeah, nice. But until then, see you guys tomorrow when we start getting 2 more pieces. All right, y'all, so today is day 3 working on the wrap, and we're making some pretty good progress, and a lot of good progress in our progression of learning how to wrap. Let me show you guys what we have now, just because I want to start the video a little early. As you saw yesterday, we did the roof spoiler, which I think is pretty good. I ended up cleaning up the bottom so it doesn't look as ugly, so it looks pretty good. But today the main goal was to get the front fender done, And for the most part, we are almost finished. We got the top half of the fender good. Just gotta make some cuts there and cut that side of the door. We have a big bubble right here, but all we have to do, lift the bottom here, heat it up a little bit, stretch it, and we should be able to get that. I was really focusing on the front corner where the headlight is. Wrap does shrink around the corner here, so that's a good sign. And everything here looks pretty good. We'll get to keep working on this, and then I'll keep giving you guys updates. I have to go to work later, and this is probably the only part we're gonna be able to wrap today. And then tomorrow, the goal is to get this fender just so we can get both fenders done and then start moving on to the rest of the car. All right, y'all, so I just got back from work and I just finished up the fender. I just wanted to give you guys an update just because I feel like this video is really just me giving you guys updates and not really showing you guys what we're doing. I'll explain everything after I show you the fender. Got the fender finished. So for the most part, everything is wrapped. Corners look good. Obviously, it's not perfect. It's not wrap shop material, but I think it's very good for like an amateur doing this. So with the body line here, I think you can really see it, which I really like. And then there's another body line here, of course. So this is day 3 technically, but this is day 2 of us actually wrapping something. And this is the second piece we got done. I calculated out, I counted it, and we have to wrap about 23 pieces on the car. So it's a very big task. I'm learning so much that I feel like things are just gonna get much easier. And since it's only been like 2-3 days, we've only wrapped 2 pieces, you're probably thinking like, damn, like you're hella slow, pick up the pace a little bit. You know, just wait, just wait a little bit. This is what we're working with when no knowledge is being applied to anything. So that's, give us some slack here. Since we did have excess material on the bottom, we didn't want to use too much. I ended up cutting up a little slip here, and I think we're going to use that for another piece on the car just so we don't like waste material, anything like that. You know, this is something that I not normally do. Like, who the hell is like, oh yeah, like let me go ahead and wrap my full car when I haven't even wrapped anything? Like, what crazy person does that? Me, I guess. So let's go ahead and teleport to tomorrow, and then I'll show you guys the process on what we do when it comes to the other fender and when we do the truck. All right, y'all, so we are back with, I don't even know what day it is, but we are back again wrapping the Lexus. And today we're gonna be starting on the trunk like I did mention yesterday. The plan is to get this whole piece wrapped. We're not gonna take care of the top just yet or the bottom here, just because I do have an extra piece that fits this whole side. And this whole top of the trunk is gonna be in 2 pieces. So there's gonna be 1 piece, and then this is gonna be 1 piece. Obviously it'll be a little easier if I just do like 1 full one going that way. So I wanted to start filming a little early just because I want to show you guys the process that I'm going with on how I wrap, just because I know there's a bunch of methods that you can use when wrapping your car. Obviously I am no professional. Maybe you shouldn't follow me. Maybe I'm doing everything wrong and it's just working out, but I don't know. It's really up to you if you guys want to follow what I'm doing. Here we go. So the first thing I did was I actually cleaned it. Before I even started to wrap, I cleaned the whole car with soap and water. But the process is pretty simple with this piece. My brother's gonna hold it from this end, and we're gonna stretch it all the way to this end. And you can see that there's a little bit of residue here from the Lexus logo. Fortunately for me, I do have the trunk spoiler over there, so this is gonna get covered. We lifted the trunk a little bit just because there's like a little guard on the right side in between where like the middle trunk taillight is and the side taillight is. So if you guys wanna do that, there is no obstruction here. So if you guys wanna have a clean cut, that's what we're doing. So what you guys saw us do was we stretched it out, and then we didn't even lay. The term is called glassing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay it on here. It's gonna look like it's essentially wrapped anyway. Let me show you. So we didn't even press down on any of the piece of the trunk yet. It kind of looks like it's laid already, but you kind of want to do this and make sure all your edges are straight. You know, we can obviously clean that up with some heat. But once we do that, you know, this gives us a good foundation. We'll get all the bubbles out, and then we'll go ahead and do the process of cutting the edge here. So now that that piece on the trunk is laid, we pretty much heated it up, laid it down. All we have to do is cut. When we wrap this corner and we heat it up, it pretty much shrivels up in here. And that's what we want. You know, we want something that if it does get super hot outside, we want it to just shrink back up and not bubble and come off of the trunk. This line here is actually pretty good. And then if you come on this side, the edge over here does actually look pretty good as well. But I want to show you guys how it looks like and the process that we kind of went through. I didn't deep dive too much into it. And I don't want to mislead you guys on in wrong information. Obviously, there's professionals out there who do this for a living. I'm doing this because I just wanted to. So you can take my advice, you don't have to. For now, let's go ahead, take care of this piece, and then we'll see if we can get either the rest of the trunk on or we'll move on to a different piece. All right, y'all, so now I want to give you guys the progress update on what the trunk looks like because it's pretty much done. So like I showed you guys earlier, this part is pretty much done. We decided to leave the top portion because when we wrap the upper half right here, this corner actually does look really, really good. So we don't want to, like, you know, jeopardize this or take it off and then we're gonna have to rewrap it again. So that's why we're going to leave this. Here you do see a lot of bubbles, so like there's a lot here. And this is where my inexperience comes into play. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. You're probably asking why. It's just gonna look how we're done. The trunk spoiler is pretty much going to cover this whole thing and nothing is going to be sticking to this part. It's mostly going to be sticking up to here at least. So it's not gonna touch any of this, but when we do this other layer of the trunk, we'll see if we cover it or we're gonna see if we can maybe just come up to this point. But everything else, you know, the corner here looks really good. The edge here actually is better than I anticipated. Follow it here, and the line is actually really straight. And then same with this side. This side actually looks better than the other side, but we tucked it deeper inside. So that's just an update, and I feel like this video is going to be a lot of that. I don't know if anyone would want to take my advice when it comes to wrapping, but I want to give you guys my perspective on someone who's wrapping a car for the first time. I'll check in with you guys next on what we decide to do. All right, y'all, so I just wanted to give you guys an update on where we're currently at. And we finally moved on to the driver's side front fender. All we did was pretty much place it where it's currently at. And right now it looks like it's pretty much ready to cut. I just need to make sure that all the corners are set and everything looks good. But this is what we have so far. So this corner is pretty much good to go. All I have to do is just cut it. There is a little bit of tension. From what I learned, if you can tap on it, it sounds like a drum. There's a lot of tension in there. So this one is decently set. I'm gonna have to do this one more time just to verify. With this corner though, there isn't a lot of material that I can work with. So I'm gonna do the best I can to see if I can tuck this as best as I can. And then when it comes up to here, I have it kind of set. And then come down here, everything looks good. You know, what I'm finding having trouble on is when it curves like this. There is a couple bubbles, but it's not anything that I can't handle. You know, that there's a good amount of tension there. But overall, the front fenders aren't too big of a pain. For the most part, this corner is laid. And same with this corner, I didn't take care of this side just yet. So pretty much anything on the inside is all taken care of. I do gotta post heat. But for the most part, this corner is good as well. I just have to cut it. And this looks very similar to the passenger side. In my opinion, this is probably like the best work that we've done. In my opinion, we've only done like 3 pieces, so that's just what I'm kind of basing my work off of. But for the most part, this is super easy. And as amateurs and people who don't really do this for a living, you know, you want to have small wins. You want to make sure that you get like all the small stuff done and see yourself actually wrap it, because then you'll have the confidence to move on to bigger pieces. But let's go ahead. I'll just let it time lapse. I'll let you guys sit there for a bit, and then I'll show you guys me just cleaning up everything, and then I'll show you guys the end product when I'm finished with it. All right, so you guys saw me take care of the inner side of the front fender. There's not really a set process, and like I said, I'm just using what works for me. Let me go ahead, take care of the rest of the fender. All right, y'all, so a few minutes later, and I just finished the driver's side front fender, and it honestly looks really, really good. All the corners have been tucked. Everything has been squared away, and everything at the bottom has been good. Everything around the fender is good, and everything in the front part of where the headlight's supposed to go is good as well. And then we should be able to put both headlights on for the first time, so we can see how the headlights look on the car with the new wrap color. We're gonna put the hood down as well, just so we can kind of get a better idea. But now let's go ahead, put on these bad boys and then see how it looks like with the new wrap. All right, y'all, so now that we have finished both front fenders, we put both headlights on, and let me tell you, fire. I'm gonna show you how the fender looks like on both sides, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys how it looks like with the headlights on. If you look from this angle, it looks pink. But if I move over here, it looks white. So I think that's a cool like little contrast. And then you do have it with the headlights. And man, let me tell you, sheesh. So this looks really good. Like I said, we're not paying attention to the hood. But if you look at the color from the passenger side leading up to the driver's side, color looks absolutely amazing, and I'm getting super excited. We do have a long way to go. So that's gonna be about it for today. I think we made good progress today. You know, we're gonna go get some rest, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. All right, y'all, so we're back again with another day. I got some good news and I got some bad. So as you guys saw in the last clip, I mentioned that we did the trunk. The bad news is we're probably gonna have to take this off. You know, a bunch of work has gone into that, and that's just gonna be scrapped. But the good news is I saw a video on how to actually wrap a trunk like properly, but other than that, everything else looks like it's pretty good. I do have like a bit of a time crunch today, just because, you know, I'm still working. Like I have 2 jobs. I work in the morning and then I work at night. So in between that time, I'm just kind of like just going at it. Pretty difficult, because wrapping your car is essentially like a full-time job. Like you really need to make sure you're paying attention to a lot of the things. But you guys already know how it looks like. You guys are probably either thinking 1, it's garbage, or 2, it looks pretty sick. In the meantime though, I'm stuck with how it looks like right now. I don't know if it looks good at the end or if it looks bad. So you guys know the final product more than I do. All that hard work gone in a span of like 20, 30 seconds. I took off the Lexus badge and I took off ones here. But what I didn't show you guys yesterday was I broke the Lexus logo trying to take it off with some floss. For the trunk though, I don't think I'm gonna run any emblems, so it's just gonna be debadged. The only emblem I'm gonna be running is the one on the trunk spoiler, but the full trunk is just gonna be debadged. It's just gonna be in the white. So I feel like the trunk, it is difficult, yes, but this one involves like multiple pieces, which I feel like is gonna take the longest. We already have the piece for the top. With the side, I think you guys are like already noticing. Similar to when we wrapped the car in Christmas wrap, I'm kind of avoiding the doors and all that stuff. All right, y'all, so it's been at least maybe 2 or 3 days since I updated you guys. And for good reason. We've got a lot of work done and it was very hard to film. You know, we wanted to make sure that we get everything good. Hopefully you guys understand. But we do have a couple of pieces from the last time I updated you guys on where the car is currently at. So I'm not 100% sure what I showed you guys last, but I was able to salvage the hood. So the hood is actually finished. This looks pretty good. You got both front fenders finished and it looks pretty nice as well. So you got it connected from the hood to the front fender, to the other front fender, which actually looks very, very good. So from what I updated you guys before, I was able to get the side skirt on the passenger side as well as the driver's side done. So that's very good progress. And we were also able to get the quarter panel. So the quarter panel was actually something I actually wanted to get done like ASAP, just because for the weekend, I had my brother back from work and he was able to help me and my other brother. So we were able to get full quarter panel finished, and it just connects the car from the back to the front, and all we have to do is get both doors on. And then I did the rear door handle already, so it actually looks pretty clean. So all we would have to do is just wrap the door. Once we wrap the door, we'll go ahead and put the door handle on, and then from the back you guys have a view on kind of how it's gonna look like, and just see the vision. You know, the color looks pretty sick. It's pink here, but it's like a blue white over there. And then if you come on the other side, it's pretty much the same thing. So we got the side skirt done as well as the full quarter panel. Got the taillight on too. And then we do have the trunk wrapped as well. So I'm gonna head to bed because I got work tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, we'll go ahead and tackle, see how much we can get done. And hopefully you guys will get to see it soon. So I'll just see you guys tomorrow. All right, y'all, so we are back again, wrapping the car. So today we're gonna try to make some pretty good progress. We're gonna try to make a big dent in what we have left of the car. but I'm gonna start off with something pretty small, and I'm gonna start off with the front door handles. So these really shouldn't be too hard. I did wrap the rear door handles yesterday. The difference between the front and the back one is obviously you have the lock on the door. So with the rear one, it's just the door handle itself. There's nothing really much to it. With the front, you do have like this little button here to lock the door, which shouldn't be too bad. So as you guys saw, I pretty much just wrapped this corner piece of the door handle. So now what I usually do is I leave it for a couple minutes just so like the wrap can kind of just like lay still. And then once it's done, like maybe I'll give it like 2 to 3 minutes just because it's a small piece. Once that's done, I'll go ahead and trim the edges just so I can get the excess material off. So my usual process of getting things wrapped is I usually wrap it like similar to this. Same concept, lay, blah, blah, blah. Any excess material, what I do is I cut out slits on the outer material. So like it has like a little flap. So what I do from there is I just heat each flap and each edge, tuck the corner, and then once it's tucked and it's set, I usually just cut off the excess material. Bada boom, bada bam, that's pretty much finished. This piece is pretty much done now. All the corners are tucked. We can put this to the side. We'll go ahead and handle the actual door handle, and then you pretty much got your door handle finished. Alright y'all, so I just finished the passenger side front door. So this should be good. All I have to do is just cut out that little piece for the like door, like lock thing. So that should be good. Now we're gonna move on to the actual doors and we're gonna see if we can wrap it, and this whole side should be finished, but I'll just update you guys and you guys will just see what happens. Alright y'all, so it's been a while since I updated you guys just because I'm really trying to get this done and it's hard to film. So we got the rear door on. Rear door is finished with the door handle on. So that looks good. At our boy, we still need to get the front door on as well, which we will tackle tomorrow. It is like 11 o'clock at night. I just got back from work and we're going to complete the other rear door, the driver's side rear door. Before I left for work, I made sure I had it laid, but for the most part, we kind of got the trunk spoiler, at least on the top, finished. We had to clean up the back side. This one is a little difficult, honestly. This is not my most favorite piece to wrap. Front lip, for the most part, is wrapped. All we have to do is wrap the front bumper and we should be able to put that guy on. I'll let you guys in on like my thought process, what it is right now. Today is currently Tuesday. We did start the wrap last Monday, just to give you guys some context. For the most part, this is what we have done so far, and the progress that we have seen in our wrapping has gradually progressed. I'm pretty proud of our progress, if I'm being quite honest. You know, we went in not knowing anything, but now we kind of have a good foundation. I don't think I'm gonna wrap another car. It's a lot of work. You gotta have patience. Sometimes I don't have that, and sometimes I just wanna get it done. Enough of me blabbing. I'll see if I can let the camera down over there. All right, so about 15 to 20 minutes later, I finished everything that the door needs. Let me show you guys how it looks like, and then we'll head to doing the door handle. So in my opinion, I think it looks pretty good. Everything's smooth. So this is where I have trouble, but everything else looks pretty smooth. And the doors and everything's tucked on the inside. Now we just gotta do the door handle, which the door handles don't take too long. So that's the plan, at least for the next maybe hour, hour and a half. I don't think it should take too long. But once we finish with the rear door, both rear doors are finished. And then tomorrow what I'll do is I'll try to hit both of the front doors. The only hard part is my brother starts school again tomorrow, so I do lose an extra hand, you know, just something that you got to deal with. But the goal is still to finish it by Thursday. So we'll see how it goes. You guys are obviously watching this when the wrap is already done. All right, so just another update. I was able to finish the door handle, and now I was able to smooth out where the door handle is supposed to go. Door handle is finished, you know, pretty decent looking, pretty good. So if anything, I might just like let you guys sit there and time lapse it, or I'm just gonna show you guys how it looks like at the end. It's almost 1 a.m. and I'm getting kind of sleepy.